Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer. Today, we're putting a giant magnifying glass on the specific titling of a curriculum framework, The Spirit of Liberty, the American Revolution, and we're zeroing in on Unit 3. Now, the words chosen here, they're doing a lot of heavy lifting, and we're going to break down exactly what they promise you, the student, and how they frame the entire historical narrative we're about to explore together. Excerpts from The Spirit of Liberty, the American Revolution. It might seem incredibly brief, right? But in academic framing, brevity is power. Every single word here is a heavy, foundational promise of what's to come in the coursework. You see, when a curriculum designer uses the word excerpts, they're telling you straight away that you're about to receive the most concentrated, potent voices of that era. You aren't getting the filler, no way. You're getting the direct, primary echoes of history, curated specifically for maximum impact. Think of it like a direct pipeline, straight into the minds of the people who actually lived it.
Section 1. The source material. Because to truly understand what we're about to study, we absolutely have to put our title text under a microscope.
Section 2. The Spirit of Liberty. Let's shift our focus to the first half of that title and deconstruct the thematic core of these upcoming excerpts.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the deliberate pairing of the word spirit right alongside liberty. Just think about that for a second. Liberty is so often defined as a political state of being, a legal status, or just a set of defined rights. But a spirit? Well, a spirit is an intangible driving force. It's a mood, it's an energy, an invisible momentum that literally compels everyday people to act in completely extraordinary ways. By calling it the Spirit of Liberty, our source material is actually priming us to study a feeling. It's an intellectual movement that spread like wildfire through a population, way before it ever became a concrete set of laws. It's asking us to evaluate the psychology of the era just as much as the politics.
Section 3. The American Revolution. This is the next logical step in our breakdown, shifting from that abstract ideal right into the explicit historical framing of the text.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact duality of what we're studying. We've got the Spirit of Liberty, the internal, ideal concept, pitted right up against the American Revolution, the external, massive historical action. This maps the cause and the effect perfectly, like two sides of the same coin. The curriculum is promising you that the excerpts you're about to read will act as a bridge between these two concepts. You're going to read words that took a conceptual spirit and violently translated it into a revolution. It's a structural contrast that defines the whole shebang. One literally cannot exist without the other. The spirit requires the revolution to be realized, and the revolution, well, it requires the spirit to be justified.
Section 4. Arriving at Unit 3. Let's ground ourselves in where we actually are in the syllabus.
Number 3. We have officially reached Unit 3. And look, we aren't in the introduction anymore, folks. Arriving here means a pivotal, highly anticipated act in the curriculum has kicked off. The stage is set, the historical actors are in their places, and this is where the spark finally hits the powder keg. This number represents the culmination of all the academic buildup we've gone through so far. The colonial era has been established, we know the geography, and those initial simmering tensions, we explored those in previous units. Now, it is time for action.
Which leads us to the ultimate question we have to ask ourselves as we prepare to move forward into the coursework. What excerpts will define this revolution in Unit 3? Seriously, if we're actively looking for the Spirit of Liberty, whose voices will capture it best? Is it going to be the fiery speeches of well-known politicians? Maybe the private letters of ordinary citizens? Or the desperate declarations of generals out in the field? The incredibly tight framing of our source text builds tremendous anticipation for the reading material itself. We know the theme and we know the historical event. But the specific voices, those are the puzzle pieces we're just waiting to uncover.
So the crucial point is you must carry this precise lens with you, this Spirit of Liberty. As you finally dive into the primary source excerpts for this unit, whatever they might end up being, keep this exact phrase lingering right in the back of your mind. Ask yourself with every new document, every single new quote, how does this author translate that intangible feeling into explosive action? Keep that framework sharp and enjoy the discoveries in the reading ahead.